Hi everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode. My name is Marcus and I'll be your host. In today's episode we're going to take a look at PayPal. If you're new to this channel, what we do here is that we study and analyze stocks. We go through the technical and the fundamental analysis of the stock, but we also talk about finance and investing. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I truly hope you guys will enjoy this episode. Please give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think, but also what stocks you want me to take a look at. Okay? Thank you. Now, let's get started. As I mentioned before, we're going to take a look at PayPal. PayPal is a service that I use all the time, and they are traded on NASDAQ, and they are in the trade and service sector. If we look at the screen, we can see that their market capitalization is at $320 billion, and their revenue is at $23.8 billion. Their PE ratio is at 66. Now, look guys, you know that I like to look at companies with a PE ratio of 20 or below, but having a PE ratio of 66 is way too high and overvalued in my eyes. But a high PE ratio lets you know that the market has high expectation of the stock, and a risk is if the company doesn't meet those expectations, we will see the stock price fall. So PE ratio of 66, that's too high in my eyes, so that is a no for me. Their profit margin is at 20%. Now, I like to take a look at companies with a profit margin of 15% or higher, and having a profit margin of 20% is good. I like that, so that is a go for me. The price to sales ratio is at 13. Now, normally I like to take a look at companies with a price to sales ratio of maximum 2, and having a price to sales ratio of 13 is just too high, so that is a no for me. Now, price to book value is at 15. Normally I like companies with a maximum price to book value of 3. Having 15 is just way too high. Now, if we summarize this, if we look at the price to earnings, the PE ratio, the price to sales ratio, and the price to book value, it tells me that PayPal is too overvalued. Now, they don't pay out any dividend, which is a bummer. I like those dividend income. And the return on equity is at 25%. Basically, what return on equity tells you is that the company's ability to create return on the invested equity. As for an investor, that is very important, knowing that the company can provide you a return on those investments. So 25%, I like that, so that is a major goal for me. Return on assets, 3.8%. It's very low in my eyes. It's extremely low. Still positive though, but very small number. So I'll give that a go just because it's positive, but it's a really low number. The stock is currently traded at $272 per share, and if you look at the 50-day moving average, we are trading below that. But looking at the 200-day moving average, we are trading above that. So not a clear signal, but the 200 moving average tells us that we might see price move even higher. And if we glance just quickly on the chart, we can see that we are trading in a positive trend channel here. Let me lay down here. And we can tell that we are near the support levels, and we might see buyers come in and push the price even higher, as we can tell by the 200-day moving average that we might see price move up to the resistance level. Now let's move over to the income statement, and what we can see looking at the income statement, that the total revenue went from $9.8 billion in 2016 up to $21.5 billion in 2020, and has been growing steadily ever since. I like that. Gross profit went from $6 billion up to $16.9 billion and has been growing steadily ever since. I like it a lot. Net income went from $1.4 billion up to $4.2 billion, and it also has been growing steadily ever since. I like what I'm seeing. The income statement is looking good. Now let's move over to the balance sheet. And what we are interested here is the current assets versus the current liabilities. And as you can see that it's larger than the current liability, which is a plus. Another thing that is also good is that the current assets is larger than the total liabilities. Now, not a huge leg room, but still larger than the total liabilities, meaning that their current asset, they can convert it to cash and pay off all the debt. That's great. I like it a lot. Now, looking at the total liabilities, it went from $18.4 billion and it has been growing steadily ever since. That is a minus. I would like to see the company reduce their total liabilities. But overall, current assets is greater than total liabilities. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, let's move over to the cash flow. What we are interested here is to look at the operating cash flow minus the capex, which is capital expenditure, and we can see we went from $3.2 billion up to $5.9 billion minus the capital expenditure. We are looking at $1.1 billion in a legroom, a difference there, which is great. I liked it a lot, and we can see that it has been growing ever since, so this is a major plus. Now let's move over to the key figures. And what we can tell here is that earnings per share went from $1.16 up to $3.5 and it has been growing steadily ever since. I like that. Revenue per share went from $8 up to $18 per share and has been growing steadily ever since. I like that a lot. Equity per share went from $12 up to $17 and also maintaining the trend. Not a huge jump, but still a positive trend. I like that. Now, they don't pay out any dividend. As you know me, I like that dividend income, but it's just a shame. But you shouldn't get stuck on the dividends because you have to look at the numbers, see, is there any room for dividends? But also you need to dig a bit deeper and see what are the plans of the companies. So don't just get stuck on dividends, okay? So be cautious. Now, going over to the profitability, we can see that the gross margin went from 61% up to 78.9%. It has been growing ever since. We fell off a bit, but overall a positive trend. I like that. So that is positive. The company is reducing the cost of goods sold and are becoming more and more efficient. That is a plus. I like that. Operating margin went from 16.6% up to 23.6%. Has been growing. We fell off a bit, but overall we're moving in a right direction. I like that. Great. Profit margin went from 14% up to 19.5%. Also, same trend there. A small fluctuation, but overall a good positive trend. If we summarize the margins, we can tell that the profit margin, operating margin, and profit margin, the gross margin, operating margin, and the profit margin are all moving in the right direction. I like that. Good to see. Now, the return on equity, as I mentioned, is just a way for you as investor to see the company's ability to create a return on the invested equity. And you want to make sure that the companies are able to provide you a return on the capital that you invest. And the return on equity went from 9.5% up to 20% and has been growing steadily ever since. I like that. Return on assets, a very small number, 4.2%, went up to 5.9%. Still, even though it's a small number, what we can tell by looking at the numbers is that it has been improving ever since. I like that, even though the numbers are small. Now, solidity. Basically what solidity is, it looks at how much of the total assets are financed by the equity. And also it tells us about the company's financial strength for the short term. And we went from 44% down to 28%. It has been falling ever since, and that is a minus. The company needs to find ways to improve their financial strength. Balance sheet liquidity, basically the same thing as solidity, but here it looks at the company's financial strength for the long term, and we went from 17 down to 5.3 and have been falling ever since, which is negative. Debt ratio went from 1.2 up to 2.5. Basically what this tells you is that the company has 2.5 times more debt than equity in the company. And this is a minus because you can see that it has been growing ever since. I want the company to reduce their debt. Now, we have gone through the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow, the key figures. And now let's move over to the most important part of our software, which is the pillars. And basically what the pillar does is that it summarizes everything we have gone through in an easy, a fun way and easy to digest information. It gives you the holistic overview of the company's performance. So if we summarize, we can see here that the PE ratio is above 20, which is minus. They don't pay out any dividends, and that's minus. But one thing that is positive though is that the number of outstanding shares have been decreasing. That means that your share of the company is growing. And also it's a way for a company to promote and strengthen attract investors, because a lot of people only look at for instance the debt. A lot of companies increase their shares outstanding to bring in capital, and that capital won't show up in the debt column. So you may see a company with a low rate, with a low debt, the debt is not growing, but their number of outstanding share is increasing rapidly. That means that the company won't take in no debt, but they are bringing new capital by giving out more shares, and your share of the company is shrinking. So seeing a company buy back their shares, that is positive. I like that. Revenue increased over the past 5 years, positive. Profit margin above 15%, positive. Profit increased over the past 5 years, positive. Current assets larger than current liabilities, positive. Solidity decreased over the past 5 years, minus. Balance sheet liquidity decreased over the past 5 years, minus. And debt equity ratio increased over the past 5 years, minus. Guys, as you can see, it gives you an easy to read, easy to digest overview of the company's performance. And for only $25 per month, you can have this software along with everything we have gone through. Also, you get access to our analysis page where you have access to more publications, more articles and videos that we publish when we go through and analyze stocks. Great value for you users. And also you get access to our forum, our discussion forum, where you are able to chat with me alongside with other members. So for only $25, it's yours to have. Now let's move over to the technical analysis of the stock. So here we have the stock. Let me just lay down the support line here, something like that. Let me change the color to green, and let me lay down the resistance level, something like that. And let me change that color to red. So what we can see here is that we are trending in a positive direction, in a positive channel. We have, for instance, higher lows and higher highs, also telling us that we are in a positive trend line. But one thing we need to be cautious here is that, as you can see, we are trading, we have just touched the support line, so we might see the buyers come in and push the price even higher up to the resistance level. But there are a lot of resistance before we get to that level. For instance, we have here at $274, then we have here at $307. So we need to break those barriers before reaching a top resistance channel, which is, if we buy here and stay all the way, we can do a 30% move, which is a good trade. But also, as a reminder, we need to be very cautious here. But everything else tells us that we should move higher. There is not much that indicates, because if we look at the company's performance, sure, the debt is growing, the solidity needs to improve, balance sheet liquidity needs to improve, debt ratio needs to improve, but overall the margins are moving in the right direction, profit is growing, so the company is performing very well. So the fundamentals tells us that it should drive the price higher. Sure, the price and the company's performance and stock is not the same thing, but looking at it, I believe the fundamentals will drive the price even higher. So I would buy how I would trade the stock is I would go in here for a price move of 30% and then exit the stock. How would you trade PayPal? Please let me know in the comments below. That's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think and what stocks you want me to take a look at. Thank you once again for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.